Okay. All right. How is everybody doing on this? Oh my God, this is ridiculous. They need to finish this on Tuesday. This is ridiculous. How's everybody doing on this fine Sunday morning? Huh? Much better this Sunday morning than the alternate universe Sunday morning where Florida doesn't win their game last night. Ain't that the truth? Let me see something. Is that mine? Oh, there we go. All right, let's blow the chat up and see what we got here. Ted, how we doing? Finish them up Tuesday. Exactly. Colin says we want Luongo. Yeah, who bangs the drum is the X factor 100%, Derek. Under no circumstances should it not be Luongo. Like, it's not even a question. Right? Right, Panthers. Yeah, real. I saw that. Vanchek got the game puck. That was fantastic. Ted, no more Dolphins. I agree. Guitar Crow says it would be so typical of this team to blow it again at home. Cup in the building for my blood pressure's sake. Please win it on Tuesday. Well, we did it last year in Game 7, so let's just pretend this one's Game 7. Hey, thank you, Guitar Crow. Derek, thank you, guys. Sofler says Jovanovski banging the drum. I mean, that would be a viable alternative to Luongo, but I think you just go with what worked last time, right? Right? If it's a Dolphin player, honestly, whoever makes the decision gets fired. I don't think there'd be anybody that would disagree with that. I don't even know if their family would disagree with that. If they put another Dolphin player on that drum and we lose, there's a new job opening. So the music tyrant with a good question. What is considered a dynasty? If the Panthers win the cup, do they automatically call it that, or do they need 3? Well, I think if I'm being intellectually honest about it, if you want to be called a true dynasty, you need that third one within like a 5-year period. I think that would be my call there. Hey, thank you, Adam. Thank you, bud. Thank you, bud. Let's go, Cats. We can do this. Happy Father's Day. Appreciate that. Happy Father's Day to everybody here in the chat as well. If you are a dad, yeah, have fun with that. I'm glad that I passed. I still got my kids here, obviously, my one kid, but the age of raising them, going through all of the stages, it was what it was. It was fun. It was great, but there's some perks to getting older. We'll put it that way. Hey, David. Trey. Oh, my God. Sergio says, or Sergio, I should say. Braves fan, how you doing? Sergio says Wayne predicts McDavid with the game of his life again Tuesday. Well, I mean, would that even be enough? Would that be enough? Like, it's not like they ain't trying. I mean, there was a couple of sequences last night where we literally just had 4 guys lined up at the line. I mean, I've seen it more than once. There's just 4 guys lined up a foot inside the line going, come at me, bro. So IDK says, will this team actually be able to clinch at home for once? I mean, we did win the cup at home, right? We did win the cup at home. So there's that. Sergio says they want Edmonton so bad. I know some of the calls last night, like the call on the Marchand goal, the second call on TNT was like, I don't even think the dude was paying attention to the puck. It's like, here comes Marchand, makes the move. It was terrible. David says, I predict all the Oilers will play the games of their lives Tuesday. But if we play our game, it won't matter. Bubba. Right, David? Exactly. Colin says we just need another give a big game from Barkov. He played better yesterday. Look, the dude's probably got some kind of an injury going on, or energy conservation is a real thing. I mean, he's playing a lot, right? IDK says, yeah, it was last year. We did manage to clinch a few series at home last year. Well, we made the decision this year knowingly to be on the road rather than try to work too hard to win the division. So I have confidence in them for Tuesday. Trey says Barco had a big game yesterday. Yeah, no, he was good yesterday. He's just not putting the puck in the back of the net. I don't even know if he's shooting. He's just not playing that game right now. Adam says, I think they're going to come out with everything they have and win it in Game 6. I agree. Yeah, real. The announcers get louder for McDavid skating around or passing when they do for Bennett or Marchand scoring. That's not even hyperbolic. I just wish we could have our, Randy and Goalie. You know what I mean? It just sucks that the local guys get cut out. Guitar Crow, I'm not interested in Game 7 either, man. Hey, Chopper. Chuckin says the margins are very tight. We also got to play the best game of the playoffs on Tuesday. We're going to have to. Now, one thing of note, I forget if it was Dangle, I think, that mentioned this. Like in the first period, we scored 2-2-2, 3, and 2 goals. So getting off to a good start again is going to be important. Chopper, that's it, man. Just finish it off Tuesday. He's Lamar Jackson on skates. Giorgio says the TNT postgame is visibly somber and sad. They talk Edmonton the entire time and how they should have played and always end it with, oh, well, give all the credit to Florida. Right. Yeah. Is what it is. Hey, George. Good call. Lewis wants to know Skinner or Picard. I think the assumption is they're probably going to go back to Skinner. I don't think going to Picard was the wrong move, but Skinner probably is more capable of having a better game. I would think they're going to go back to Skinner. SoFlo says Paul Maurice is going to purposefully force Game 7 to prove a point. Ted says, I don't believe the Panthers lost the division on purpose. Well, not on purpose. They made the decision not to chase the division and to rest guys instead. Ted, that's without question. They made the decision with a couple weeks left in the season to not even worry about. They weren't worried about any kind of home ice. They were just resting guys for no reason, just to give them some nights off. Colin wants to know how the Panthers are going to pay Marchand. I'm going to have a goal. I'm going to have a video on that actually tomorrow. I'm going to do a little bit of putzing around with the salary cap. I'm going to put a video out about that tomorrow since we've got a couple of days. Adam says they should at least put Randy and Goalie on the radio. We can at least listen to them that way if it's not on TV. I like Plagans. So, I'm sure they wouldn't want to steal his fire. But I just wish that the TV contracts were written in such a way to allow, multiple versions of the same broadcast. You know what I mean? Thank you, Hungry. He says, I think we can measure Barkov's contribution by the fact that McDavid scored his first goal of the finals in Game 5. Exactly. Trey. Yeah, by either flipping Roddy or letting Mr. Olympia walk. Exactly. Sports Short says, I predict another goalie change from Skinner back to Picard halfway through. You mean Game 6? But I get you. Chopper, I agree. He says either Marchand or Bennett have to win the Conn Smythe. If McDavid wins again, this will just prove the league is enamored with McDavid so much they have to give him a consolation prize. Well, we have to win first. We have to win first. But I agree. Have they ever split the Conn Smythe? Have they ever split the Conn Smythe between two players? I would assume maybe it's happened, but I don't know. SoFlo says, Maurice has too many press conference jokes in the bank to fit just in one game, so he'll make sure we go 7. Hey, eyes. Trey says Mike Smith and net. I would assume it's going to be Skinner, eyes. I would assume that, but who knows? David, yeah, out of all of them, it's Gretzky that gives the Cats the most kudos. Exactly, Kazuma. Luongo on the drums and band Taylor Swift. Perfect. Trey says Jake Ottinger is laughing right now, right? That's a good question. Through my eyes, says why do they always show the Oilers mosh pit when they score, but never show Amaranth Rouch party when the Panthers score? They did finally show it last night a couple of times, but yeah, every commercial break, yeah, they do that. They show the Edmonton fans, but at least they finally did it a couple of times last night for Florida, because enough people bitched and complained about it. Trey. I don't think so. I do not think so. Hey, Simon, how you doing, bud? Yep, last home game, exactly. Yep, it's got to be Luongo, Simon. It's got to be Luongo. It's got to be Luongo. Trey says Taylor Rose is NFL salary cap by $30 million herself. Ugh. There you go, David. I like what Lewis has to say. Let's finish this series. Bennett win Conn Smythe, re-sign Marchand and Ekblad with a house rebate, and go for 3 in a row next year. Could happen. Hey, communist. Chopper, I think he's talking about Ekblad because of the PEDs. I see. I'm behind. You guys are answering your own. Do not let Swift and Kelsey back in the building, right? And exactly, communist says, thank God the guys learned from the last game, right? Right? Like they went into the locker room up to. I was actually glad it wasn't 3-0. We had the 2-0 lead, then we had that power play. I was like, you know what? I'll take the 2-0 lead. And they went to the locker room, and you could obviously see that they made a point of coming out, especially in the beginning of that second period, and playing hard and playing physical. David says, Bob faced the most shots and made the most saves ever through the first 4 games. Is that right? Holy crap. I didn't realize that stat, David. Yeah, and he smoked him, especially in the first 10 minutes, for sure. SoFlo says, Eddie's a great commentator. It's Kenny Albert that sucks. I'm not a fan of Albert at all. Not a fan of Albert at all. Guitar Crow, they're going to – one of Marchand or Bennett if we win. Kidnap Swaggy's wife again. Hey, Cap for life. Thank you, bud. Thank you, bud. Happy Father's Day to everybody. Thank you, bud. Meth Pit. Yeah, Kyle's doing a fantastic job, too. Clayton says, at this point, Draisaitl wins the con if Edmonton wins. 7 points with 1 goal for McDavid is not good. Exactly. Thank you, Simon. I appreciate that, bud. Yeah, Kyle buys me my fishing license. That's my Father's Day gift every year. He buys me my fishing license. That way I know I have it. I know when it expires. That's the tradition. It works out easy. It's like $37. Thank you, Sports Shorts. So they've never split the Conn Smythe. All right. Hey, Boulevard's off to vacation, off to Vegas for vacation. Yeah, win some money. Exactly. So if we close it out Tuesday, you think I can have my new sign delivered by the weekend? I got to move my dentist appointment now because I had a Wednesday dentist appointment. That was the first thing they had available. I'm just going to push it to next week because we'll be live a lot on Wednesday should we win on Tuesday. Communist, that's an interesting question. He says, is Swaggy playing better now that he's seeing less of his wife? Well, I mean, that might be part of it. I don't know. It's just obvious that he's one of those players, and Maurice has talked about this. He's one of those players that needs the intensity and the stress level of the playoffs to do his best. And I can understand that from a certain perspective. As he just turns into, I mean, that's why we paid him, right? David says, Bob for Conn Smythe if we win, and he comes up big again. Plus, he got screwed last year. He did get screwed last year, yeah. Hey, thank you, T-Money. Happy Father's Day. And all the fathers in the chat agreed. Yeah, and we won the cup when Lou hit the drum. It's gotta be Lou. Oh, 24-hour buffet. Chopper, Luosterainen had a monster game last night. He lost his stick. Draisaitl made sure to push the stick away, and he did two great defenses and rushed up to the blue line to prevent more shots on goal. Yeah, good recall there, Chopper. I wanted to mention that. That when you see that, you know we're winning the game, right? I mean, we played that almost a whole minute there when he didn't have his stick. And he almost cleared the puck on his own. Sometimes when you don't have your stick, you have no choice but to be a little bit aggressive. It can backfire, but sometimes it can work to your advantage. Hey, Simon. So I did get to the gym a couple times this week. I'm not going to go fishing today because it's Sunday. It's Father's Day. I'm sure there will be people down there. Ain't no reason for me to go down there and fish with other people. I'll be there tomorrow, and it'll be crickets. It'll be just me and the sunshine. That's one of the perks of not having to work a real job. Colin says, seems like everyone on Twitter wants Luongo. Yeah, it has to be, right? Has to be. Thank you, Aj. Yeah, going back to 65, never two winners. Sports Source says, you saw Bennett's going to sign for 8x8. That, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. There's only a couple of questions left. Like I said, I'm going to do a video on that tomorrow. I'm doing a little bit of an in-depth analysis because there's some ways that we can work things to try to sign everybody. I want to go through the math with a fine-tooth comb myself and see how it shakes out. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think we could get Lamborghini on the drum. Can you imagine Flames fans? Adam says, will Marchand stay for Aaron's salary? Oh, we could never pay him that. We couldn't pay Marchand 7.5. I'm sure when I run the numbers, you're looking at 4, maybe 5 if we move some guys. Soflo, yeah, imagine Kevin Harlan getting the nod for the NHL. Yeah, man. That would be nice. Good stat there through my eyes. Panthers had the lead for 150-plus minutes in this series, while Edmonton has led for 33 minutes. Yeah. Hey, Lightning Girl. Stanley in the house Tuesday night. I got my puddle ready. Oh, my God. You're killing me. Dave says we need E2 and a Gustav on the line so we can call it the Easty Goosty line. Trey says the Oilers win the cup, Leon gets the Conn Smythe. If Panthers win it, McDavid gets it, right? All right, so will I be drunk on Wednesday? No, I won't be drunk on Wednesday. That's always a possibility. That could happen, but not the alcohol. It doesn't make me feel good. Now, I can't speak for Kyle. Because if we win Tuesday, obviously if we win Tuesday, the live stream is going to go longer. The recap will be later because I'm going to stay and then interact with everybody after the game. I won't run and go do the recap so quickly. So when we finish this up on Tuesday, it'll be a little bit different. 40K, we got one more game, man. Hey, Silver, you're going to be there at Game 6. Spectacular, man. George, well, yeah, your wife is supposed to make you want to win more, but if she's wearing them out, you know what I mean? Thank you, Lightning Girl. Exactly, Cap. Well, I think somebody corrected. He's saying going forward in the playoffs when the Dolphins bang a drum. I think somebody corrected. Apparently, well, we know we won with McDaniel. And I think somebody said we won Game 3 against Vegas, and that was Marino banging the drum. So I don't think we're winless. I says Gadjevich, right? Simon, yeah. Hopefully they can set us up on Thursday. If not, I'll have to wait for them to be able to bury the line. It could take a month. But still, having fiber is going to make things so much better. The picture is going to be so much better. Kazuma, yeah, I saw a hockey guy saying Marchand should win Conn Smythe. Yeah. Lightning Girl says, listen, you guys got to win Tuesday night because I got to shave. Oh, man. You ain't kidding. Oh, I'm so ready. It's like curled up now. Like it's all of this is ridiculous. It's like curling up. Oh, I'm going to have ringlets on my face. It's not good. Lax says, no, Sir Kurt? No, I thought No Sick has been pretty good. Chris Wells, oh my God. Oh my God, that's a name, Eyes. Good question, John. He says, I wonder who Zito would have acquired if Marchand wasn't available. Any ideas? Well, what's interesting is that just came about at the last minute. I don't know that we would have changed. I don't know that there was anybody we were going to be able to get at that point. Right? I mean, I don't know how long. We didn't get the story. Like when we traded for Tkachuk, Zito gave us and laid it all out, the story of how that deal came together. Now, the only thing I've heard Zito say about that deal is that it just kind of came together at the last minute. So I don't know if we would have gotten anybody. I think we were going to, if we don't sign Marchand, I think Sam Miskevich probably ends up still playing. Unless Boquist was going to stay in the lineup. Huge pickup. Well, let me get down here. Hey, thank you, Eyes. Thank you, bud. Thank you, buddy. Hold on. My chat chat's going so fast I can't keep up. Hold on a second. Let me make it. I can see if it's a little bit smaller. Okay, hold on. Thank you, Eyes. Thank you, buddy. Dale Talon banged the drum. Hey, Dale, show Dale Talon some love, man. Zito put this thing together, but Barkov, Ekblad, Bubba, we only got Bobrovsky because Dale Talon, right? You know, we got Chucky because Dale Talon. We had Huberto and Uyghur to trade. Talon does deserve some credit, but I don't think he should be banging the drum, right? Hey, Andrew. I'm doing pretty good, man. Doing good. No, I can't trim it. Can't trim it. Not allowed. Simon, I'll answer that one in a second here, bud. What's this? Hey, thank you, Amanda. Thank you. Oh, my God. Have Huberto bang the drum so he feels a bit of a part of it. Man, Hubie's got to just wonder, right? He's just got to wonder. Al says, Cats and Rats podcast said our 24 playoff team was much better, and 75% of their fans disagreed. Well, all I can tell you, I've only seen a couple of things of theirs. We disagree, but we're fans of the same team, so I got no problem. But no, this team is significantly better than last year's team, and so is Edmonton. This team is better than last year's team. I don't think it's. We have so much more offense. We've got. This team has a lot more. I mean, last year's team was great. Don't get me wrong, but just the depth that we have, in my opinion. Chopper, what Chopper say? You want me to look at your comment? Where did I miss it? How far is it? I'm scrolling all the way back. Oh, I missed the super chat. Thank you, John. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. He says, I don't want to go back to Edmonton Hamburger Hut. Chopper, I don't see it, man. Where is it? Lightning goes laughing. Where's Chopper's comment? Oh, how much do I think Samoskevich gets if we sign Ekblad, Marchand, and Bennett? So let me answer that in tomorrow's video, Chopper, because I'm literally doing a video on that exact subject tomorrow. So I want to get with the salary cap manager and run some numbers and all of that. So I'm going to have an in-depth video about that tomorrow, because obviously the season's almost over, and we know Bill's watching the video, so he knows what to do. So I got to tell him what to do. We're not allowed to talk to each other. So he has to watch the videos to learn what to do, and then he does it. And that's how Tkachuk ended up here. And I wonder if anybody takes me seriously with that. Great White says, I love the look on Leia's face when the Panthers score, right? It's weird because a few of the other times she's just been happy and everything. But I think last night she was like, what's going on here? Al says the Panthers team this year gets played down for a struggle against the Leafs. Yeah. Hey, Beer League, how you doing, buddy? Says I'm happy for Marchand. Love seeing them playing this good. Yeah, it's thank you guys. I mean, seriously, thank you, Boston. Unbelievable. Pepper says the Stars carried last year's run. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, but just Marchand is better than Tarasenko. I love Lomberg. Remember, we had Okposo and Lorentz on that fourth line last year. And I'm loving Greer and Gadjevich right now. Nosek has played admirably. Lundell's better. Luosterainen's better. Bennett is healthy. I just think this year's team's better. Just my opinion. Pepper, yeah, more reliable depth scoring. Exactly, Pepper. Adam says team has more heart. IDK says, I think Cats and Rats mainly said the defense last year was better. I don't know what the numbers show. It was a little bit more reliable in terms of obviously not allowing comebacks and everything. But I don't think you can win 2 cups in a row without the second team being better. I think just by default, for having been to 3 straight finals, if you win that second cup at the end of being the 3 straight finals, I think by default, that team is better because you're just not going to have the same. You're just not going to have the same energy. Dennis, I haven't seen anything from Flames Nation this year, but I remember them because I interacted with them during the Tkachuk trade. But they haven't shown me. YouTube hasn't shown me anything. Thank you, man. I got the 4 super chats. All right, scrolling back down the bottom. Sports Show says, how did I not know Nate Schmidt is a free agent? That's another one. That's why like I said, I want to do a video tomorrow because there's a lot of different things to look at in terms of how can we keep guys. So I kind of want to look at what the real numbers are before I say anything. Al says Mikula's been better this year too. Absolutely. Yep. Guitarco says, like Ekland is the odd man out here. I think we need Marshy and Bennett more. If it has to go down that way, we'll see. I think maybe Erod. Hey, Colin says, hopefully the Checkers can bounce back. Colin, I saw that video you sent me. If you guys haven't seen it, I mean, I guess the other team scored on their own net on the faceoff because the goalie wasn't ready. It would have won the game. And I guess they called it back because the goalie wasn't ready on the faceoff. I don't know how the referee drops that puck. I mean, the goalie's sitting there with his mask off to his back to the play, and they basically dropped the puck. Donna says Schmidt 2x2 perfect contract. That would help. Hey, Alechka. She says the Rat Squad. No one in the league can out-rat us physically or mentally. That's pretty accurate. All right, Adam. Have a good Father's Day, bud. Huh. Yeah, I mowed my grass earlier. Dennis says we have to get better defensemen in our farm system. That would be the one weakest spot. Yes, I would agree there. That would be the weakest spot where we don't really have defensemen that are ready to step up. But it is important to note that the Panther scouts, have been so good with finding guys. I mean, Kulikov and Schmidt. Who else was here last? Well, we know we had Montour. OEL. Yeah, that's the other one. So, I mean, what Panther players have I met in person? Only Panthers players I met in person were Scott Mellenby, and I believe it was Gord Murphy. I went to the Hollywood Square Mall, which is probably not there anymore, back during the cup run, the first cup run, 95, 96. And I got my jacket signed. You could get something signed by either Mellenby or the other player. And I believe the other player was Gord Murphy. But in terms of the only guy I've actually shook their hand or met would be Scott Mellenby. Obviously, I've spoken to Randy and Billy through the internet, but we've never met in person. I think that would be it. I think that's it in terms of interactions at all with the Panthers players. Hey, thank you, Adonis. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, we got 80 in here. We got 122 total between all of the formats. And hopefully we'll have more next year when the internet improves. The picture's going to be better. Everything's going to be better. It almost might look like a real professional outfit. You just don't tell anybody. Dennis says, I watched the Checkers game and sort of looks really, really good and fast. He's going to be the next guy. And that's another thing to consider, Dennis, in terms of signing guys and letting guys go. Sordiff was almost ready this year, but you're not going to have Sam Miskevich and Sordiff being rookies out there. So could we see a situation again where maybe you put Sordiff on that third line with Lundell Luosterainen and then replace him at the deadline for a playoff run? Maybe. But if you can find a way to keep Marchand, Sordiff, I don't know where you're going to go, buddy, but it's Brad Marchand. It's a tough call. Jay says, I need to meet Gudis and get a Twins pick with him. Yeah, before you have to shave the beard, right? 58 says, I'm at Peter Worrell at a local rink here. Dude is a giant. Would have been so scared to be on the ice with him. Amanda says, Bennett 8x8, Marchand 3x7, Ekblad odd man out. What do you do with Samoskevich then? You trade an Erod. You trade an Erod. That's what you do with Samoskevich. You can't give Bennett 8 and Marchand 7. Forget about Ekblad. You would still have to trade. You would still have to move somebody because that's 15 of the 19 million that we have. And if you give Samoskevich 2, now you got 2 million left, and you still got to get a backup goalie, at least one defenseman. I just don't think there's enough money to do that. If Marchand's going to stay, it'd have to be in the $5 to $6 million range, I believe. And that's another good question. Dietrich's asking about having no sick back. Right. Then it says that's why the Boquist signing didn't make sense. It didn't. It didn't. That's another player that could possibly be moved. Right? I mean, you could see us package Rodriguez and Boquist together, but Boquist is cheap and can move up and down the lineup. He's kind of like Cousins was. I don't think he'll get going. Or we just keep everybody. I mean, there's still money to keep everybody we have and not sign Marchand. It's just kind of a pipe dream to want to have Marchand stay, right? Donna says, how good was Bob playing yesterday? Any specific saves he made? Because a lot of people were saying that was the game he had to steal from us. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to him much. In the first 10 minutes, the first 7 to 10 minutes of the game, he made multiple saves that easily could have given Edmonton a lead. And then once we got that goal, Edmonton kind of flattened for a while until we had the 3-0 lead, and then they woke back up. But it easily could have been 1-0 to almost even 2-0 Edmonton. But Bob made some huge saves early on. Hey, Viper. Hey, Viper, you take your ACT exam tomorrow. Good luck, bud. Good luck. The Fly Guy likes the Boquist signing, says it made sense because he's good and he plays everywhere, including center. I mean, he's a good, versatile depth piece to have. It makes sense if you're going to be moving Rodriguez to try to keep the team together. He's not quite Rodriguez, but you're only paying him $1.50. It doesn't make sense if he's going to be on the bench, though. If he's going to not be a top 12 forward, $1.5 million on the bench under these circumstances, under the cap, it's a little tough. Simon says, what about any of the broadcasters from the Panthers teams, like the radio broadcasters, the TV player? I have not met any of them. I haven't met, because I don't live down there, right? And when I went down there this last time, it was a surprise. So, no, I don't have any stories to share that way. I've never met any of them. I've had some emails and stuff back and forth with a few. I know Goldie's helped me out at some point. Goldie has his foundation. And a long time ago, maybe 6-7 years ago, he gave us some money to help Matthias get his acupuncture because he was really struggling with his autism at that point in time. So I know Goldie's helped us out that way. Real says Boquist showed up when he's needed for these playoffs. He's just disappeared for about 4 months after his brother was cut. That sounds about right. Hey, big dog, lad, just one more win, man. Just one more win. Fly Guy says, but if he comes in and scores when Reinhardt is hurt, he's worth it. I mean, sure, I get what you're saying. I was surprised we needed to give him $1.50. Like, I would have thought we could have given him $1 million and saved $500,000. Oh, shit, I see $50. Matthew, is Brad Marchand my favorite player? No, still Forsling. Still Forsling. I know, Fly. Where's the, hey, thank you, Great White. Thank you, brother. Thank you. All right. He says, Panthers winning 2 cups. I'm feeling it. I feel good, man. Can you believe this? Like, for those of you who have been here at the start of the channel, for those of you who have not been here since the start of the channel, what you don't understand, or maybe you don't realize, is that, yeah, this is my 9th season of doing this. But 2 things. The first 3 years of the channel was complete meltdown after meltdown, F-bomb laden rants. It was just agonizing every night. Now, I made it fun as much as I could, but it was nothing like what you see here. And then I made the decision that I wanted to try to do this as part of our living. And so I sat down with Kyle. I said, I either got to get a job or we got to start streaming these games. And so we said, okay, let's start streaming the games. And we've been to the Stanley Cup final every year since we started streaming the games. That's obnoxious. The level of luck and crossed with blessing that is just obscene. Like, we have not streamed a playoff game after the Panthers have been eliminated. It's absurd. Thank you, Great White. Thank you, brother. Guitar Pro, I appreciate that, bud. Appreciate that, man. Cap for life. Yeah, Goalie's old school. That's right. Thank you again, man. Dietrich says, my son is also autistic. I greatly relate and appreciate how I raised the boys. Right. Happy Father's Day to you, brother. Same right back at you, man. I should be hearing from Matthias at some point today. He's real forgetful. I don't hold it against him. Sports Show says, every time we go to overtime, I play, we are going to overtime. Yep. He's very proud of that. He's very proud of that one, too. Yeah, Matthew's son's autistic as well. Yep. Happy Father's Day to you, Matthew. Dennis says, the decades of darkness paid off. No doubt. No doubt, man. We'll take it. Hey, thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Amanda. She says, like the stream, guys, and make sure to keep your subs for the summer to help the channel. I appreciate everybody. Yep. Thank you for bringing that up, Amanda. Yeah, everybody, if you're a member, really, really appreciate that. If everybody could keep those memberships over the summer, that's a big help. It is a big help. And we're, like I said, we're upgrading the internet. We're not going to be stopping streaming. I'm still going to be streaming on this channel multiple times a week. We've got the football channel. We're going to be doing stuff on the other channel, having some inappropriate conversation on the men's channel. And life is good. Life is good. I miss my dogs every day. I miss those damn dogs. But life is still good now. Big Dog says, I've always said Panthers in 6. Let's see if it happens. Yep. That was my series preview, so we're hoping. David says, before the last 3 years, my favorite Cats memory was a comeback from 3-0 Devils, right? Jack says, yeah, you lose 1 finals and freak out, then get 2 more. Say this again, try watching more than 2 years of hockey. Huh. Jack, I'm not sure what you're saying there, so I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, right? So, yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Jack's mad, right? Chris says, I once prayed for the stress you're currently experiencing. I'll let the chat take care of it. I'll let the chat can take care of Jack. I'm in too good of a mood. Donna said, you said Panthers in 6. I said Panthers in 6. Empty netters. Very good. So you would get Marner for nothing. What you're complaining about? He's a free agent. Why would we want Marner on our team? Why in God's name would we want Marner on our team? Why would we pay him anything more than I don't know one Panther fan that wants that dude. Not that there's anything wrong with him. We just don't need him. Right. Barman says, I can't find anywhere to subscribe for the members. So let me see if I can get that link. Bear with me here. So if you go into the descriptions of any of the videos, you will see a link, but I'm going to post it here. You'll see a link that says, click this link to join the channel, to join the memberships. So here it is. I will post this link and then I'll pin it. Okay, here we go. Posting the link. There we go. That's the link to how to join the memberships. They start at $3 a month. So it's real easy and real easy. I try to make it so that it's cheap and everybody can stick around. Like I've been saying, we're still gonna have the podcast the summer. And okay, so I'm pinning that right now. We're still gonna have the podcast during the summer. We're still gonna be doing fishing videos during the summer. We're not taking any time off around here. No more time off. All right, let me bar this. Thank you for asking, Barman. All right, let me blow this chat back up and see what we got here. Yep, I got that. I got that there, Amanda. Thank you. Trey says you're not mad at Gary Bettman, you're mad at Brandon Shanahan, right? Alice thinks Marner. Oh, the football channel. Okay. Alice thinks Marner will go to the Metro. Yeah, maybe the Rangers, right? SoFlo says I'd pay Marner to not be on the team. All right, real quick here. Let me pin the link to, or I can't pin two links, but I can post the link to the football channel. Let's see here. All right, here we go. It's a real original name. It's Flying Fluffy Football. It's a real original name. Okay, yeah, there we go. Real says Jackson, typical salty gold cake-keeping Leaf fans. I don't know why people get that way. Like when we were bad, I mainly yelled about our team. I can't remember blaming the other teams for us being bad. Pay Marner a public sub. All right, I'm scrolling really quick down here. Yeah, Shanahan's right. Exactly. David says we only keep Marchand if he decides legacy is more important than money. He's 37, and they were saying that he'd get offers of 3 years at $8 per. That's too much. Yeah, we won't have that. We won't have that. Hey, thank you, Adonis. Thank you, buddy, for joining the membership, bud. Appreciate that, buddy. Now you can watch me go fishing. Appreciate it, bud. So Big Dog says, do I think the Oilers looked exhausted and indicative of how they play the rest of this series? What I will say is this. I said this in a comment on somebody's video I watched this morning. The only time, for the most part, the only time Edmonton has matched Florida's energy this series is when they're behind by multiple goals. That's really, for the most part, been the only time when Edmonton has played exceptionally hard is when they've been behind by multiple goals or the 5 minutes here or there that they've actually had a lead. They have not played consistently well when it's a scoreless game or a tied game, their fan base must be frustrated with the level of with the highs and the lows, I would think. Hey, thank you, Adonis. Appreciate that, bud. Simon, yeah, that's a good idea. I gotta figure out how I can do that on StreamYard. That's another big part of some of the changes that'll be coming for next year. Thank you, Amanda, for posting that as well. John says, any suggestions for a summer show called Cutting the Lawn with Kyle? I'm the one that uses the riding mower. He uses the other one. I don't think he'd appreciate that. I don't think he would appreciate that. Right? Jack, at least one player to play the Panthers would want would be David Perron. I don't know that we're really in the market for much of anybody. And I don't mean that as an insult to any other players, but don't forget we got Sam Iskevich. So even if we don't re-sign Marchand, our top line is set. If we don't re-sign Marchand, we're going in with Barkov, Reinhart, Verhaeghe, Bennett, Kachuk, Sam Iskevich, Lundell, Luosterainen, Rodriguez. And that's, and then we still got Boquist. So I just don't know that there's we don't have much work to do. Defense, we might need some help there. Hey, thank you, Barman. Much appreciated, bud. Thank you. Much appreciated. Thank you for joining. Oh, maybe at the trade deadline. I see. Well, you never know. That's also always possible because we've also got a kid, Sordif, who might be ready. He would be ready on anybody else's team. We've got a lot of good players. But damn, you still want to sign Marchand. What do you think about giving I was going to say put Marchand on the fourth line because there's no room. We've gone insane over here. Thank you, Barman. Oh, my God, no Tom Wilson. Jesus. Sure thing, big dog. Real says, what do we do with Sturm? I don't think Sturm comes back. I think he was just a rental for depth. I don't think Sturm comes back. Great White. I use mainly spoons. I don't use live bait at all for the most part. Every once in a while, if I catch a perch small enough, I might throw it out there. But why kill the perch? I just use lures pretty much exclusively. Communist says Boquist should have to prove that he deserves to be on the team. Even if we waived him, though, I don't think he'd get picked up at 1.5, right? Kazuma says, we need Jaws to become a Twitch partner to help grow the channel. All I need is 75 viewers for the next 12 streams. Is that right? I never even paid attention to that, Kazuma. Thank you for that. Thank you for mentioning that. Because I kind of created the Twitch account and then just didn't think much of it, streaming the games there. So I honestly I don't know what's going on with that. I know we get a few people from Twitch, but I never even – thank you for reminding me, because that's another thing I need to take a look at during the summer, especially if Donna and I are going to be doing the other types of streams that might do okay over there. Right. Adonis says the thing is that Mackey is not offer sheet eligible, so no team can offer him if we can't match it. I don't think we'll trade him, so just give him 2 years, about $1.75. I thought it was going to be 2 by 2.25, but if we could get him for 1.75, because of that would be a massive help. David said live bait is cheating, right? James, would Nosek be replacing Marchand? No. No, because we don't forget about Sam Miskevich. Like I said, Barkov, Reinhart, Verhaeghe, Bennett, Kachuk, Sam Miskevich, Lundell, Luostarinen, Rodriguez. So I'd love to keep Marchand, but you'd have to move Rodriguez to do it. Trey says Wilson's my favorite my favorite non-Panther after Captain Gudis. Can you imagine Wilson on this team? Jeez. He's a pain in the ass. Yeah, I can multi-stream IDK. Yeah, I have to check that out. Yeah, shrimp for snappers. Yeah, it's just expensive if you get honest. If you go for snappers with your shrimp and you end up on a school of grunts, it gets expensive. Derek says I have the Ducks 30th anniversary eggplant jersey and the Ducks get slap. That's nice. Kuzuma says 75 viewers for 12 streams and 25 hours of streams gets you a partnership and extra income. All right, I'll take a look at that. Maybe what I'll have to do is occasionally do some Twitch exclusive streams to build that up. Maybe that's an idea I have to do. Adonis. Yeah, James says Wilson hates Kachuk, not going to work. Oh, man, Matthew, I don't like to eat crabs. And to be honest with you, Matthew, they just came out with an announcement a couple weeks ago in terms of the blue crabs here in the Bay that they're actually at their lowest levels ever. Like, it's absurd. Donna got her mom a crab cake dinner for Mother's Day. 2 crab cakes, coleslaw and fries. $55. $55 for 2 crab cakes. It was insane. Adonis says, sign Alex Lyon, and that's the perfect offseason. I don't even disagree with you. I think Lyon could come back here, make his $900,000, be a perfect fit. I got his sign. It's not here. It's in the recap room. I still got the Alex Lyon sign when they had the lion on it. It'd be a perfect fit. I don't think Vanacek is going to be back. He got the puck last night, though. That was cool. David says, yeah, that's too bad. Blue crabs when you went to Inner Harbor in Baltimore a long time ago. Yeah. Adonis, I think we need to extend Bob this offseason. I would assume that's when Zito would want to get it done because you want to be able to project into the future what you're going to be paying. And I don't think that they would want to go into next season with the distraction of, is Bob going to retire? Is he going to resign? How much? I would assume, my assumption is Zito would want to get that done in the offseason. 58 says, I think affiliate level for Twitch is 50 followers and a certain number of watch time. That affiliate opens you up for tips and bits hype. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, 58. I'll have to check that out. I just created the account because when I found out StreamYard, you can stream to multiple locations. I just created the Twitch account and I've streamed every once in a while. We get a comment or two. I don't know how sports streaming does over there, and I figured it couldn't hurt. John says the addition of Marchand solidifies Luostarainen's point production. Look at E2's point production with him, with Marchand in his 22 playoff games, and look at his previous 70 games without him. Did E2 really have 70 playoff games before? What the hell was that? Oh, that was, okay, I know what that was. Yeah, I guess he would have, right? 70? 1, 2, but he was with the President's Trophy team too. Didn't realize there were that many. Adonis, yeah, we got to win the cup, right? Exactly. David, that's a good point there, right? James, how can the 37, 38-year-olds be a starter for 100 games every year? Nah, he's not going. They already said, James, that when they traded Spencer Knight, they already said that the future goaltender for this team is still Bob. He's in great shape. We don't wear him out, right? We're not playing him as many games as Vasilevsky. And I got no problem with him staying he's got one more year in his contract. I got no problem with another 2-year extension. Oh, thank you, Kazuma. Appreciate that. Oh, okay, John. I figured 70 seemed a bit high. Like, I know he's been here, but 70 seemed a bit high. The minimum you can make on Twitch with 1,000 subs and $5 a month is. I'll have to check that out, Kazuma. I never really even thought about it, to be honest with you. Yeah, Trey says Bob doesn't play back-to-back or nooners. He's fine. No, he's in great shape, too. Oh, Matthew, you grew up with crab feasts during the summer on the shore? Yeah. Unfortunately, it ain't like that, but I couldn't believe it. She got the 2 crab cake dinner for her mom, the 1 crab cake dinner for her, and the bill was like $90. It was like $88. Exactly, Adonis. Yeah. So, Simon, I started the football channel. Why did I start the football channel? It is interesting. I mean, I guess I just wanted to double down on what I was doing, right? I would have kept doing it last year, but I was just too drained with everything that happened with the dogs and everything that happened with Karen leaving. I was just too drained. And I wasn't going to stop the hockey, so I had to choose. But this year we're all in. Everything is good. We're all in. And I'm looking forward to it. The fun part about the football channel now is going to be I get to go back to the old school stuff from the early days of the hockey channel because the Dolphins suck. So I get to bitch and moan and groan and complain on the football channel because I don't get to do that anymore in the hockey channel. Big Dog says, I think the Oilers being indecisive about their main goalie is a big problem for them going forward. I think the fact that they didn't upgrade at goalie is an issue. Like, they've gotten, I think, as much mileage as they're going to get out of these 2 guys. They could still win the cup, right? Because of their offense. They could still win the cup. But when either Skinner or Picard is playing their average selves, it's tough. It's tough on them. Usernames on Twitch says affiliate opens up emote slots too, so people who subscribe to the channel can use your exclusive emotes on other channels. All right. Very cool. I'll have to check that out. I appreciate all the advice, guys. Trey says I stopped because the Dolphins stink. I mean, that was part of it. It just was too much. It was tough. It was just too much. I shouldn't have stopped. It was a mistake. That won't happen again. James says last year's Panthers wouldn't have won the cup without home ice advantage. Came down to the last game, a.k.a. at home. We just do it again. And I don't think we would have. The fact that we were at home last night or last year is inconsequential. We could have easily played that 2-1 game in Edmonton. I don't think it would have turned out any differently for us, to be honest with you. This team plays better on the road. So I feel comfortable, but I feel them the way that they lost 4 and then didn't allow the same thing in Game 5. I feel real good about Game 6. Yeah, that's exactly. You think that's happening with Vasilevsky and Hellebuck having bad postseasons, taking on big workloads. They have to use their energy every night to exhaustion in postseason. Exactly. I've been saying it for years, and I'm a Panther fan. I'm like, get Vasilevsky a decent backup. He's playing too many games. Who says if the Panthers win the Cup, do I think they will leave the Oilers? Oh, how many more years does he have on his contract? It's a good question. Scroll down here because I see a super chat. Thank you, Great White. Thank you, bud. Thank you, Great White. Says I need a 2-hour show. 1 hour goes too fast. Maybe tomorrow. I'll go as long as I can. But you hear my voice. Let me get a sip. I wish I would have bought 2 liters of Coke. I could use the carbonation right now. I'll go a little bit longer. I'll go as long as. Remember, Donna's here, so on the weekends I try to keep it so that I don't know if she's. Are you watching, babe? She hasn't commented, so she must not. Hey, Anthony, he's a free agent after this year. Interesting. He's going to get paid. Somebody's going to pay him. And look, regardless of how this series turns out, like we could be here next year with 3 straight years in a row with these same 2 teams. That's very possible. It's extremely possible. Donna says, I don't feel bad for the Bolts. They gave Johansson an extension when he's been an awful backup. I don't understand it. It's plain to see from the last few years that Vasilevsky's getting worn out by the time the playoffs are coming around. I mean, he had that back surgery. He still looks like himself sometimes, but it's clear that they're wearing him out. I don't know what their cap situation is, but you'd think that they would want to upgrade. You know what I mean? John says, would McDavid make a mistake if he leaves Edmonton? He's made 2 finals, and he's currently playing second fiddle to the Panthers only. I mean, you know Edmonton would pay him, right? But can they improve the team if they don't win? If they don't win this year, like, can you improve the team if you start giving McDavid $17 million, $20 million? Would he take 15 to continue to try to improve the team? Now, one thing you have to acknowledge at this point, since the series has been so close, is they do miss Zach Hyman. There's no way around that. They do miss him at this point. Anthony, you're talking about hockey psychology, and you heard Tadatsuk. I have to see the second part of that. Comment there. Oh, Alex's game. Never heard this comparison from him to Datsuk. So you're talking about Sasha. Yeah, I think I've heard that before. It's not a bad take. It's not a bad take. Maybe you saw the same video I did. Thank you, Amanda. Appreciate that. Yeah, so we can cry. Are we going to cry about the Dolphins this year, Amanda? I'm going to try to just have fun with their ineptitude. I think that's the only way I can take the Dolphins right now. Like the first few years of the Panther channel, I took it seriously. Like every game we lost, I was manic. But I don't think I can do that with the Dolphins. Like I think we have to take it. It's just a matter of when is McDaniel getting fired or Greer and or both, right? I mean, I think we can all see the writing on the wall. They're going to trade Ramsey. They're going to trade Jonnu Smith. We just can't keep any decent players. So, you got me on a rant. I'm already ranting. Pente, the Oilers have cap issues coming in the near future. Oh, boy. Anthony says, I think if he leaves, he goes to a tax-free portion of Canada like Montreal or Calgary, possibly Florida to play with Tampa. McDavid in Montreal would be unfortunate for a lot of the teams in the Eastern Conference. That would not be okay. Oh, and Bouchard's an RFA. Jeez. Kazuma says, "When I get rid of Ekblad, if it meant signing Marchand." Oh. Okay, if I'm Bill Zito right now and I have to choose between the two of them, damn, that's tough. That's really tough. If I had to choose, if I'm Bill Zito and I had to choose between Ekblad and Marchand, and I can only keep one, oof. I know most of you think and want me to say, we'll let Ekblad walk. It's a tough call because we know what the forward group is going to look like without Marchand. You put Rodriguez there, we're good. We're not great. It ain't Marchand, but we're good. We don't know what this defense looks like without Ekblad on a serious basis in the postseason. You'd have to replace him. And so if you're trying to replace Ekblad, just giving Mikkola another partner, you're still going to spend a couple $1 million, and you better get it right. That's such a tough call. It's such a tough call. And then he says what they were comparing Alex's game to in terms of ability to create space where there isn't, like Pavel used to do. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, he's not as fast as Bure was, but he can create space with his skating ability. Communist says Sasha is like 65% Datsuk and 35% Bergeron. It's about right. Great year for the Finns. Zero expectations. Exactly. It's okay, Communist. We got you. John says, what goalies will be knocking over the door to die to be Bob's backup next year? I mean, Alex Lyon seems the most logical one, like we've been saying. I don't know who else is. I don't know if Vladar, because Vladar has looked decent at times. I'm not sure if he would take what we can give him. Whoever's going to be the backup goalie is going to get $1 million tops, right? They're just going to have to, their payment is in the possibility of developing like Drieger did and being on this team. David says not signing Marchand to 3 years at 8. No, you can't do 3 at 8. At most, and I mean at most, 3 at 6. You'd prefer 5. I mean, you gotta be respectful with the payment, right? Unless Marchand's going to go into the office and be like, "Give me $4 million. I want to stay. Here's, I've already signed the piece of paper." Exactly, Dennis. It's tough. Right-handed defensemen don't exactly grow on trees. Yeah. Amanda says you'd have to keep Ekblad at that point. I don't want to agree with you, but I kind of do. I would hate for it to go down that way. Anthony says a lot of people say it's harder to find a great two-way forward than it is two defensemen. That's a tough call. That's a tough call. In this system, finding the right forwards is of a great importance. So, Zuma wants to know if this is the best final I've ever watched. I mean, it's different for us, right? Because we're living and dying with every puck, right? It's a little bit, it's a different experience for us. I can't remember a better. I mean, since I'm not a neutral fan, I can't remember a better one. Obviously, this would be the one we were most invested in, right? There's been some good ones. I thought Vegas and the Capitals was going to be a much better series. Fly Guy says having a vocal leader like Marshy to complement Barkov is outstanding. Give him a DQ franchise in addition to $4 million a year. That's a good one, Fly. I like that. And he says, want to know how to tell when a guy is a great defensive player? Look at the players on the puck when they go at him. Hands get nervous. Interesting. Joel Hofer is on RFA this summer, backing up Bennington on the Blues. Team looking for goaltending would be on him, but if we could offer to be a great young backup, I don't think we would need to do that, though, because of Cooper Black. I keep wanting to call him Copper. I don't know why. I think our eyes are on getting Copper Black. I did it again. Cooper Black. I think that's our next expected young goalie. But they're not going to rush him because they obviously anticipate Bobrovsky being here for a few years. Harada says, I think you can get all three back if you can sell some retention on Bobby. We're already close. There's just no room for the needed depth. So they can't do that in hockey. I'm not sure I'm understanding what you're saying, but if you're talking about reworking Bobrovsky's contract in the NHL, you can't do that like you can in football. In football, a guy signs a new contract every year, and you just push the problem down the road. In hockey, you can't do that. You can't restructure. You can't do anything like that. The contract is what it is. So it makes it all more important. You can sign Marchand longer term with the plan of LTIR retirement. I mean, there's always that. Boy, that would piss off a lot of people. Yeah. It would piss off a lot of people. I don't know how he doesn't have a DQ sponsorship already, Real. That's a good question. John, that's something. Yeah. Now, tomorrow, like I'm saying, with all these questions, tomorrow I'm going to have an in-depth video out that discusses the salary cap, the free agents, the whole thing. Since we've got time, right? That I'm going to have a pretty in-depth video out tomorrow discussing all of this. We'll play with all the different options. There's a lot of different players that, well, what about this? What about this? What about this? So I'm going to have something out tomorrow. Anthony says, if Connor leaves Edmonton and he doesn't resign, you think Leon demands a trade even after he signed his extension? Probably not. I don't think so. Donna says, what about signing Fabro if Ekblad walks? Then we only have to focus on paying Bennett and Marchand. I mean, maybe. Ekblad's been so important for the locker room and everything like that. To me, my goal is to find a way to keep all three. Ben, no, I do not. I'm born and raised in Miami. I live in Maryland now. It's an interesting thought about the draft, question about the drafting, Anthony. I think teams are going to start realizing they need both, especially if Florida finishes up again, for sure. You must be a Leafs fan, right? Oh, why do I have Stars jersey? Because I wear the jerseys that the fans send me. We've been doing this a long time. I've got a lot of jerseys from fans, and we stream all the playoff games that are non-Panther games as well. And so when we're streaming a game that's two other teams, I'll wear one of the other team's jerseys because fans of those teams or some of the fans of the channel will send me the jerseys to wear. Yeah. No different than the hockey guy, right? I saw him do it. I said, well, if he can do it, I can do it. That's how I figured it. David says, I'm going to back up Bob next year at 6'2", 380. All right. I mean, hell, you don't have to move or nothing, right? Fly says, I believe Martian does have a DQ sponsorship. They're just using wise marketing and not announcing it. That's smart. Not reworking the contract, but trading picks with other teams for a little retention on him. But that would I don't think that can happen. You can't. Does somebody understand? And I'm not trying to be obtuse. Are you suggesting that if this is allowed, I don't understand. Are you suggesting that we can trade picks with other teams and they're going to retain some of Bobrovsky's contract, but he's still on the team? I've never heard of that if that's what you're saying. So forgive me if I'm not understanding. And no, definitely not going to sell Sam Miskevich. Sam Miskevich is way too important to the future. Nah, Ben, it was fine. If you see the avatar of the channel, it's a St. Bernard. So I'm here by choice. I wanted my St. Bernard to have a good long life. He did. And I wouldn't go back now. I got 3 acres and 3,400 square feet with the river 1,000 yards down the road. They're going to have to drag me kicking and screaming on a gurney out of this house. I ain't going nowhere. So, Simon, we're doing everything, man. He's asking about the channels for the summer. Still going to be here multiple times a week for the hockey. I'm going to be working in. Once we start the football channel, I'm going to pick a time of day, and we're going to have a daily live stream on the football channel, just like we do on the hockey channels. That'll be double. And then on the other channel, on the men's channel, which I have to find a different way to describe that, dating channel, whatever it is, I'm going to be doing a lot of live streams over there, including stuff with Donna, to just have some fun and talk about life so that the hockey streams don't get so far off the rails sometimes. Yeah, Miami is a truly insane place. Yep. Communist says, I believe the NHL does not allow that. That's what I was thinking, right? David, I haven't watched Shawshank in a long time. I just didn't want the guy to think that I was being stupid on purpose. I've not heard of it. Ben, St. Bernards don't do well down in the south in the heat. They're built for the cold. They're built to be in the snow. So I wanted him to have a good long life. St. Bernard average life expectancy is about 7 years, maybe 8 if you're lucky, and he lived to be over 11. So we lived in Space Coast at the time. We lived in Melbourne, and I saw how much he was struggling as a puppy, and no, that's not what we're gonna do. So that's just kind of how I am. You know what I mean? My kids, dogs, they all come first. And so we moved here, and I love it. I love it. You know, a little cold. But I was in the Air Force. I spent 2 years in Alaska, so they can't make me cold. You know what I mean? It's like I've been in the real cold. Yeah, Drew or David. I thought he was going to live to 12. If you watch on his 11th birthday, I did a video, and Ellie had passed away, and I still felt he was going to make it to 12. He was in great shape when Ellie passed, but as soon as Ellie passed, he just went right downhill. He just checked out. I've not been to Dairy Queen, Simon. Not been to Dairy Queen. Don't believe so. At least not in the last 20 years, that's for sure. Yeah, the Huskies, sure. Yeah, but the Huskies don't weigh as much. Fluffy was a small St. Bernard. He was 140 pounds. A lot of the St. Bernards are 180, 210. 220 sometimes. So the bigger they are, the harder they have a time to breathe. So, yeah. Can we do a deferred contract for Marchand like the Ducks did for Toronto? I mean, I suppose that's possible. I'd have to look into that. But either way, if they were going to sign Marchand, you're going to trade Rodriguez because there's not going to be any room for him. If you sign Marchand, Barkov, Reinhart, Verhaeghe, Bennett, Tkachuk, Samoskevich, Lundell, Luostarinen, and Marchand, you're not going to pay Rodriguez $3.5 million to be on your fourth line. You're going to trade Rodriguez. So, to me, that's the math. But I want to look at it more in depth. Anthony, I'll full stop. I appreciate the question, but hypothetically, if we let Bennett walk, it won't happen. Bennett's of the three. Bennett is a must. You have to pay Bennett. If we win this cup, you pay Bennett. It's a done deal. You can't let him go because you're going to put Lundell the 2C. You pay Bennett whatever. If it takes overpayment, you pay him. Because like I said yesterday, I think I talked about this maybe on the podcast. Even if you overpay for Bennett, with the salary cap going up, you get 3 or 4 years down the road. Now you're going to put Lundell at 2C. You just move Bennett back down to 3C to lessen his ice time, kind of like you're doing with Marchand now. And in 3 or 4 years, if you have Bennett at $8 million at 3C, that's the same cost effectiveness as having Marchand now or having Lundell now at 3C at $5 million, because the cap is going to continue to go up for what we expect. So it's not like an 8x8. It's not like you're looking at Bennett being at 2C at 32, 33, 34. As soon as there's a dip in production, you just flip Bennett and Lundell, and you're good because you've got Lundell at 5 or 6 or whatever he signed for quite some time. Wow, Trey, didn't know that. Dude, the mosquitoes in Alaska are insane. They're like a quarter. They're like a flying quarter. Hey, Sabrina. Appreciate that. Very cool. You brought the flag out. Outstanding. That's awesome. I love to hear it. Yeah, you say Reinhart could center the second line. What we've heard about Reinhart is he doesn't like playing center. That's an option we hadn't considered. I'll grant you that. But what we've heard in the past is that Reinhart prefers not to play center. We'll put it that way. Oh, there's a YouTube guy with the Huskies. Matthew, Dairy Queen on Easton and Route 50. Oh, man. Ben, what do I think about the Utah Mammoth logo? Not bad. I was hoping Yeti was going to go through, right? Because that's just such a cool thing they could have had. But Mammoth is pretty cool. You know what I mean? It's going to be hard to ever really beat the Coyotes, Kachina. But it's pretty cool. Hey, thank you, Excalibur. Happy Father's Day to everybody. Yeah. Ben, we're sorry. I don't think that's going to happen. Who would be my Panther playoff? What? Or should be a great white? I not understand. Who would be my Panther player? Be what? Or should be today? You'll have to rephrase. You have to rephrase there. Trey says Reinhardt's next Panthers coach when Maurice retires. That's interesting. I hadn't thought about that. Oh, MVP. Okay. Right now, it would be hard to not say Marchand. I know Bennett has been playing out of his mind, but I really don't think we're winning this without Marchand. I just don't see it. Yeah, I would have to say Marchand. Yeah, I know Utah's got money to spend. I don't think Bennett's ready to leave. I don't think if we win the second cup in a row, it's going to be hard for Bennett or Ekblad to give up the chance at a three-peat. Colin says, what about doing their season award show for this? It's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. Yeah. Trey. Oh, my God. Yeah, I agree there, Lil J. All right, everybody. I'm going to roll. Voice is going on me. I want to get out there and get some lunch, have some time with Dawn before she has to leave. Like I said, I'll have a video out tomorrow about everything we've been talking about by trying to sign these guys, see if I can speak some magic into happening. And be live at noon tomorrow. Members podcast for sure tomorrow. Hopefully I can do some fishing. We'll do it that way. I'll have to check the weather and the tides. Thank you all for all the love, support. Everybody have a Father's Day. Have fun out there. Appreciate all the super chats. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We got 2 more of these. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday is the celebratory one. Wednesday, we be celebrating. All right, everybody. Happy Father's Day. Appreciate all the support. Go enjoy your Sunday.